The Spider-Man No Way Home embargo is worrying a lot of people. They are worried because the day the reviews start to roll out, people will be seeing the film. This is cutting it very close, and people are worried that this film could be terrible and they're holding the reviews back so people don't see how bad the film is, or that they're just holding them back because they're worried about the reaction. Now, I don't believe any of this. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'll explain to you why in a second. It's crazy to think that just about 2 months ago you could be like, man, the MCU is unstoppable. They're bulletproof. Critics, they love them. There's never going to be a, oh, hey, Eternals. Yeah, and now we can question everything. Is this going to be the next Eternals? I've already seen that conversation. Is that why the embargo is being held back? Again, I don't think there's much worry here. And let me explain this. Spider-Man has typically reviewed pretty decently. Even the lower reviewed films are actually on a decent scale. So to me, that's not a worry. I'm not worried about that at all. But I think what gets people really worried is this strange idea of the embargo dropping when the first screenings start. And I think a lot of people are worried because when video games do this specifically, that's when the worry starts. That's when something seems off. That's when you're cyberpunking. That's when you're Fallout 76ing, right? That's when you're not sending it out to the press or telling them, hey, you can release the review 8 a.m. after the midnight of the release. And that's a little fishy. Something just doesn't sit right with you when you hear that. Movies, though, this is commonplace. And don't forget, there's critics out there who review films who tell you the entire film. Their opening byline will say, Tobey Maguire makes a splash, but Andrew Garfield sinks to the bottom of the sea. Some stupid crap like that. You get what I'm saying, right? Like, I'm not good at this analogy. But they'll say something like that, and you're like, oh, that's a spoiler. But to them, they're just a common outlet. They're an outlet that's like the New York Times or New York Post or something, right? They're not catering to the general, comic book fan like us. They're catering to the general audience. And that audience wants to pick up the newspaper or whatever they will, look at it in the morning and go, oh, there's a new Spider-Man film with Tobey Maguire. Cool. I remember when my son used to like that. Maybe I'll go see it with him and his grandson. Right? That's who that's meant for. And I think this embargo is in place to prevent things like that from happening, because then it's just going to be confirmed. They want everybody going into this thing blind. This is what happened with Endgame as well in terms of marketing and everything. So I don't think there's anything to suspect, worry, like malicious here, anything fishy happening. Let's put it that way. I don't think it's that. I think there's something else going on here, and I think it's the surprise factor. They want people to be buzzing and rebuying tickets automatically for that entire weekend to give them that big box office run.